My strengths, JT, I think are going to be their left side of their line. Honestly, we can go through that. But this first clip up in here, I don't know if we're going to see it or not. But you know what? Sometimes when you're overmatched, you do unorthodox things, and I think this is kind of unorthodox. Just everybody just kind of dive on the ground, try to get the guys' hands down, and you feel like you can't overpower them or shove them back. So everybody cut.
Yeah, this is
You
what was
know,
wild was I think this was the first play of the game.
it is the very first play of the game, so you're already kind of saying, I don't know what you're saying. It just seems like it sends a message of, and I know I've done this before. I've done this when I was at Shelton. I couldn't block the Parrish guys, and we were just getting trucked, pushed all the way back, and we needed to throw the ball. And I was like, hey, everybody cut. I get it. So I know exactly what's going on. It just seemed like it was kind of weird right out of the chute, considering he threw outside
Yeah, like you didn't even have to get
quickly.
nobody's hands down for this, right? You
No,
could have just
well, look at the left guard. Did you just wait? I mean, he just doing an up down. He just totally waste him.
yeah,
Just
he didn't even
and
yeah.
they and I'm sure they told him you got to get your butt on the ground too. We got to see you cutting. He can't get into him because he get a chop block. If you
Mhm.
get two guys, kind of like, well, I guess you'd have to have one high and one low because they kind of do it on the right where they got both guys on this guy's legs. Um,
I don't know. I think I would have threw the flag here on this one.
yeah, coming at both. So, but my whole point on is that we got to be careful. You got to know how to handle cut blocks. So they're probably working on that and saying, you got to use your hands because that center he gets or the nose tackle he gets jacked up. You could cause some injuries. You're right on that left knee and it's stuck in the ground.
Mhm.
Who knows? What happens. So we got to be alert for that piece. All right, that's all I really had to say on that. This next one. All right, so this is kind of interesting to me, JT. I don't know. I'm calling it a QB counter pass just
Oh,
because if
right,
you
cuz
look
you've
at
got the
the
two pullers.
yes, where he so you may want to draw on that so they can see because it's really designed where the quarterback can keep the ball and run it. This is kind of what we want Jalen Milrow to do last year.
Mhm.
um, running back going one direction and then the quarterback following the
Yeah, talk
pullers.
about false reads.
Yes. So when we're talking about our defense and what we want our linebackers to do, they're seeing pullers, so they potentially. I mean, it looks like they had the right coverage. I don't know what they saw because that linebacker didn't even go with the puller. He
Yeah,
went
he
out
just
with
went straight with the back.
because they really got too many blockers. I mean, they if the quarterback would have kept the ball,
Yeah,
that's
maybe they just knew that this quarterback's not a runner. And which this is obviously not the quarterback we're going to see. We're going to see TJ Finley, which some of our viewers may remember. I think he was at Mississippi State for a minute. He was at Texas State last year, but he was he also at LSU. I know he was at Auburn.
yeah.
He
Auburn.
he's played
What
Alabama
did you?
three
What teams
times.
did you say? He was at Texas State for a
He was at
short time,
Texas
I
State, maybe
think.
not Mississippi State. Maybe it was Texas State, LSU, Auburn. But I
Yes.
thought I saw him in a Mississippi State jersey. But he's
Uh,
played an Alabama defense three times.
I could look real fast.
The Bama Standard, Justin says he was at LSU, Auburn, and Texas State.
Yeah, LSU, Auburn, Texas State. Okay. So anyway, so you got this here. It's covered up. They do a good job. But one thing that I noticed on this film, JT. So if you watch all 30 minutes of the actual cut up, what I don't show on here is that Liberty. So there was some. Hopefully, well maybe not. WKU had some serious tendencies because whenever they lined up, those guys were pointing balls going over there, something, and they would shift. And I was like, man, they must have some serious tendencies. And it makes me think about this, like where you say this linebacker didn't even go over there. So I think they had some things that they saw, or I know that they saw because they were screaming the
Mhm.
play beforehand. And that's frustrating as a player when they know you play before you even get going. I can't imagine being a running back and they're like, oh, he's going over there. So anyway, I just thought that was an interesting play that they some trickery. So we always talk about people out of the backfield and what you got to do with your linebackers. We got to be smart with that. Okay, so there's another play. It's actually my best the play that I like the most. I'm calling this a power +1 because you got the
No,
motion
plus
guy
two.
coming down. Well, you got the
Because you got
backside
the
puller.
back, you got the kick out from the back. All right, so let me draw it. You got the kick out from the back. You got the pull that's leading, and then you got this guy.
Yes. Yes. So they actually had a good play here, and that's why I think we're our strength and with this guy, if you'll see what they do, what Liberty does to them to defeat this, but they actually had enough guys. I don't know if you can find if the tail ends on here or not. Yeah, so when he pulls around, there's actually one more blocker, but the defensive
Oh, because he
end,
switched. Yeah,
he puts his head back on the other side and pushes he whoops 73's butt
yeah.
and
He
creates
closes the gap by just putting the tackle in the gap.
yes. So if you don't, and that's where we're saying our strength and our size could be a problem for that because that was a pretty good job by 73 at first. He had leverage and then he just got kind of hip tossed. So I don't. I mean, the running back's a little bit smaller, but they really did have a play if they would have kept if the down block stayed down.
Just a question. This has nothing to do with WKU, really, but I want to know because this might help us out. What 25 does here? This dude, how he takes on the puller. Is this still legal? Can you do
He's
this?
in the box, in the box, in the box. As long as you're in the
So it doesn't have to be a point of attack. He can just the defense even
if you're in the box and he's in the box, you can cut. Now you got to make sure that the ref is seeing what you're seeing. But yes, that is legal by rule. Because think of it like if 87, he originally was out of the box, so he couldn't like go cut that other defensive end over here. But if he was on the line of scrimmage, lined up there, and he went across, he'd be able to cut 16.
Can 25 cut 87?
No.
Yeah. See, so how are you supposed to know this? Like it's just in the middle of the game, you're like, yeah, I got a puller. Here he is. I'm cutting him, and then all of a sudden, it's this tight end that was God knows where.
Yeah. Well, I'm hearing what you're saying. That's what I said. I don't know if they'd ever call it right and what they do, and we'd probably be mad at throwing flags at coaches, but
yeah,
kind of is what it is. So we got to worry about this run. So a lot of two backs. I don't know, JT, if they're going to be trying to do two backs with us. I'm thinking that they're not going to want to do a lot of two backs because we're going to have more.
You're probably
going to
bring a safety in the box.
Yeah,
you're just asking to bring an extra guy in here.
Yeah, so I don't know that that's what they're actually going to do. All right. So, all right, this next play
this is a QB shift to Wildcat.
Yes. I don't know if they'll do that or not, but again, it's just we got to be ready for all trick plays. When you're outmatched, a lot of times you start doing things just to try to make something happen. So we're already seeing cut plays, and then you see some Wildcats.
Yeah, that's subtle right here. Just a whoop.
Yes.
Oh, and there's number 2 pointing.
Look. Yeah, there it is. Hey, move over. We got this. But again, I think, let's see if I can look at the lineman. I think they did a good job up front.
Is this trap?
Yes. So the skip pull. That's what I had on my notes here. He went too far. 78.
Yeah, he's going. I guess he's supposed to be going to kick out this 3.
I think
he's a 4-eye.
He's wrapping around.
How do you
35.
How do you block trap when you?
He's rocking.
it's hard to trap a one technique, right?
Now look at the. So what does the right guard do?
The right guard blocks down
See, they're
on the
going back.
zero.
So he's taking a 0. 78 is responsible for 35. The linebacker standing
Yeah, and he
over
goes
him.
out to the
No, he just
like I don't
missed
know
him. We
why he
had a
went that far. I
we
thought
yeah. 'Cause
you pull close, right? You're supposed to just
well, and that's where we talk about this. How do you actually teach the jump pull? So, skip pull, I don't know what people call it. So sometimes you shuffle when you pull, and some you actually turn and run.
mm,
So he skips and gets off balance
and
because you
touches
really,
nobody.
yeah, because you probably got to play if he blocks him,
Mm-hmm.
he probably walks right into the end zone because
Yeah, then it's
that
3
DB
versus
is
6, and you can just fall forward, and that's a touchdown.
yeah. And 6 is going to overrun him anyway because he's chasing the wideout.
Mm-hmm.
He just happens to stop because he sees it. So, um, again, trickery, but a little back, this kind of thing. So, all right. Um, so there's that one. Uh,
This is 4 strong. Oh, is this a Steeler screen?
this is the
Yes.
Steelers screen. That's what I say. I think this is the
This is
easiest
so
cakewalk.
hard to defend, though.
Yeah. So maybe you want to talk about this from because you're man to man down here on goal line. The outside guy's moving. You can't really bump because you guy can still come back and run it out
Mm-hmm.
or a bubble or something. So you're really just kind of, I don't, we ran it at JP2. This offensive play, we ran it at JP2.
Mm-hmm.
We had JB and those guys. Everybody runs it in the pros. It's just too hard to defend. But you got to be close to the line of scrimmage, or you could be trying to do this just to get a first down. So, um, I don't know what you really do, brother. That's not good for coaches to be able to say you got to try to react.
Yeah, you gotta. I guess you gotta drop this guy out in the passing lane and take your chances with something in here, which is probably what I would do first. It's like, look, I dare you to take these guys and run the ball because I don't think you're good at it, but you're not going to do this. Or you got to get in zone, or like somehow you got to get these guys to recognize that, like, hey, this is a screen. They're not running a route. I know they're trying to figure out. That's why they're flat footed. They're doing all the things that you tell them to do, and that's just like taking candy from a baby.
It's a heck of a play, and that's why I think I am going on the limb and saying we're going to see this play somewhere, some point in time.
Yeah.
Might not be on the goal line, but I'm going to say this play is going to happen.
Yeah, my thought though is
unless we're just playing zone.
Yeah, but I like this idea because the back is over here. Like, so if they're gonna run zone, inside zone, or something, like, most likely the ball's gonna go that way anyway.
I think it depends, JT, on how far that bunch is outside or how far that receiver's out there. That's still a long way.
Yeah, I mean, I guess let's see. I just 3-over-3 just doesn't, like, I know you get in these situations where it's going to be like that, but I just don't like having the 3-on-3. I like to have +1.
Yeah. Well, my only other piece that I would say to this, and I know they do it in the league when this kind of happens, is that you lock up one and you banjo the other two. So you lock up the center guy because he's on the ball, and then you kind of in and out these guys.
Okay.
Now you still could get a dig by the number 3 or something of that nature, but if you're playing Tennessee's kind of, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said no.
Oh, you said number 3 and I drew number 1.
This. Yeah, once he comes inside, and if your corner is trying to get to the number 3, he's going to be outside of him. And he's
so you're saying
run away
basically
from
this guy going like this.
No, instead. The other guy.
Who? This one?
No, the one on the hash.
Okay.
Yes, him running away from the corner,
Gotcha.
The outside corner, and because you'd want the, I don't know what you want to call him, the defensive guy sitting on the hash mark to cover the guy that's coming in motion, so they just can't.
Oh
throw,
yeah, so then you get this, and and then now you just got this guy wide open. Yeah, that's a
yeah,
problem.
that's,
It's a problem.
yes, yes. So, but I would say I don't know if I would rather have that than what you were saying, having a defensive lineman out, because maybe the linebacker can get his hand up or something to try to knock down this dig route. But it's chess, right? Or
Yes.
checkers.
No, it's not checkers. That's for sure.
Yes. Okay. So there we go. I think we're gonna.
We got one more. We got 2 minutes.
We do. I know. And this one, I didn't really. It's nothing fancy about this play. I just really wanted you to see the pullers again, which they didn't do a very good job of.
No, they did not. Let's get to the end zone view.
Kicking out the backers. So I think the left side is better than the right side on the lineman because 58 just or 50.
Yep, we got a good spill. Oh, I love me a good spill on the puller.
Yeah, that was not very good by number 50. I don't think he's going with the wrong shoulder, right?
And they hold an 11.
Yeah,
that's a hold if I've ever seen one.
Yes. You're talking about and that's the one. The left tackle is the one that I'm giving. He's holding, but I think he's quick. He has really good feet. He's someone that's going to be trying to cut off our guys. He gets in good body position, but he can't use his hands like that. But that left side of the line, I think, is pretty decent. In my opinion. So as long as we rally to the ball like this, I think, good things will happen. I think we're just gonna be too strong for him up front, or I hope, because 78, he gets on this guy, climbs up. It's not powerful, but yes, sir, Keith. We appreciate you, man. This we're gonna be doing every single week. Okay. So my takeaways, JT, on all of this stuff. WKU, they're scrappy guys. They're gonna fight. They're gonna go. They're gonna try to cut you as in little small nicks to try to make you bleed, where they can have some kind of plays just enough to kind of disrupt you and hope for some kind of turnover or something disrupt you in the backfield, and hope for something big there. But they're going to be vulnerable for big plays on both sides of the ball, I think. Right? I think from their defense, you're going to see a lot of line movement, people going different directions, just trying to create that havoc. But again, they're going to be vulnerable because if we get it right and you get one cutback, it's going to be 60 yards. Hey everybody, George Teague here, formerly of the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Dallas Cowboys. So let me ask you a question. Are you an athlete or a coach looking to boost your online visibility? Well, you've got to check out On3. Their personalized web pages amplify the total you on and off the field. Whether you want to grow your visibility, build your brand, or simply show the world who you truly are, On3 is here for you. They showcase the complete person, celebrating your passions, perseverance, and the pursuit of excellence beyond sports. These web pages are the ultimate digital hub to elevate your brand and highlight your journey. So head on over to www.on3.io/microsites and get started with On3 today.